We're going back on the USS Cole, this time to tour the actual ship instead of crossing over to the submarine.
So this is obviously the flight deck.
Yeah.
This is where we do a bunch of our DLQs and stuff like that. So when we're underway, we have helos and stuff will come in, do their deck landing qualifications.
Okay.
So we'll usually do them by day and by night. Just depends on what calls they're needing for that day. DLQs, they'll come in, pop up, and then pop this way, all right? And then that's really for the flight deck, like underway. I mean, and we do like fun stuff out here, you know what I mean?
And are these to tie down the aircraft?
So
The
stuff like,
holes, the circles?
yeah, so, and then, so you'll even see up there, like where we have the brow and stuff, we have our hooks and stuff right here, just to hold down the brow and stuff. These are just a bunch of scuttles and stuff going down below deck. And we'll kind of just shadow the other group as well. So these are called P-ways, passageways. This is where the crew obviously travels to our day-to-day jobs and stuff.
So this hallway runs the length of the ship?
Yes. So it'll run all the way down. So this is the Hall of Heroes that Sulfo was talking about. We have the 17 stars for all the 17 sailors that lost their lives. This is our plaque with all the names, everyone that lost their life. When we got bombed, this was all completely just destroyed. All of this.
Struck this side of the ship?
So port side was struck.
Port side.
So port side struck. All of this destroyed. All of the mess decks completely destroyed. Galley completely destroyed. Unfortunately, sailors' bodies and stuff were up in the overhead. Just really sad sight, obviously, if you can imagine, you know. These are polished every day, and we ask that people don't step on them. So,
on the stars?
Yeah, on the stars.
Okay.
We take a lot of pride in this hallway right here. So, and hats as well. CMC right there, yeah. So, if whenever you transit down this POA, all I ask is that you take your cover off.
Sure.
And then in the mess decks as well, we'll have you take your cover off. This is where the crew will line up for chow. During chow hours, we'll pop this open. CSs work really hard to prepare us nice meals every day. Meals are important to us, especially underway, because that's how we keep our morale. Good food, good morale, keeps us going and be able to do our jobs.
What kinds of food do you guys eat here?
So anything that you would eat at home, really. Sailors here take a lot of pride in, like, especially the CSs, they take a lot of pride in what they do. They're really hardworking rate. They cook amazing food here, compared to some of the other ships, like the big decks and stuff. But yeah, the food here is great. So this is the mess decks. This is where enlisted crew will eat. And you have the chief's mess, where the chiefs eat, and then you also have the wardroom, where all the officers and stuff eat. Like Mr. Shanahan, as we was saying, this is a bunch of stuff from the World Trade Center. Like he was saying, the cross that was welded from the Trade Center, the POW, and then a bunch of glass and marble stuff from the.
I saw this on the USS New York. Does every ship have a
So,
prisoner awards section?
So I'm not too sure actually. I figured the New York would probably have something like that. I haven't been on board the New York. I've only visited a couple. I haven't seen. I think the last ship I was on, I didn't see a POW on their mess decks. All right, so if you want to video any of this, you can, and then we'll video. I'll let you get a shot of all of this as well.
Since we're looking at artifacts from 9/11, I want to remind you guys that part 2 in this series is the USS New York ship tour. That ship is literally a floating 9/11 memorial. One thing that we learned from that ship tour is that every single night they hold prayer. And they also tell the story of a 9/11 victim. Stories provided by the family, which I found very moving.
So this was the flag that was flown the day of the bombing. As you see here, it's going to give you a whole little, our whole spill, what happened. Flag that's draped over their caskets of all of our fallen shipmates. And then on July 9th of 2006, this is the flag that we flew on our return to Aden. It's kind of like our little, hey, we're back, you know.
So in those 6 years, they had to repair and reconstruct the whole side of the
Yeah.
ship. So it was able to still keep going with that.
So the crew fought. That's why we pride ourselves a lot on our DC because the crew worked endlessly and tirelessly for many hours to keep the ship afloat. Imagine there's a hole in the side of our ship. You know what I mean? So they worked very long hours. They battled with water, obviously, to get this ship to stay afloat. That's why we pride ourselves and we harp on DC a lot here because we know our background of the ship. You know what I mean? It happened to us. You know what I mean? So everyone has a lot of enthusiasm and everything when we do our drills and stuff. And then, like I said again, like we pride ourselves on DC here. This is the flag that was flown when we killed the terrorists. The planner of the bombing. This is what we flew during that strike, and then obviously you have Mr. Daryl Cole.
That's badass. Put that there.
Yeah.
Especially as the ship is still up. That's nice.
And then obviously we have a nice little memorial for Mr. Cole. During like underways deployment, mess decks is a really big spot for like all of us to hang out after hours and stuff, play games. We do a lot of karaoke. Captain loves ice cream socials, so do a lot of ice cream socials. It's just a place to hang out, everyone relax, especially during deployment. People need that time. You know what I mean?
How many of these do you have? Is this the only one?
The mess decks. So we have. So like I said earlier, this is the enlisted mess deck. So all the enlisted crew will eat in here. You have the E6 mess, and then the Chiefs mess is farther down. This is our ESWAS. They're currently redoing it. I'll show you on the other side as well. So all the sailors that get their ESWAS will have a new plaque up here. Brand new. They just put it up. So this is the Chiefs mess. This is where we loft Chief Costello. So this is where all the chiefs eat.
How many chiefs are there on?
Yes. I can't give you. I'm not allowed to ever go in there, so I can't even tell you. We'll go up this way. Oh. Costello. And then I'll take you up on the forecastle. So this is Emily, our 5-inch. One of my favorite things I've got to experience on board was watching events and stuff where we got to shoot the 5-inch. It's what I was always excited about when I got into the Navy because I was always like, oh, like the guns and stuff when they fired, you're on the ship and stuff.
How does that work, though?
Emily?
Yeah.
So I work in combat. I'm an OS. We have FCs that will work inside combat and they shoot it remotely from their console. So it's really cool like watching them do it because they input a bunch of stuff and then it'll turn whatever way they need to turn it to and fire. And it's really cool piece of weaponry. And then you have your Ford VLS, so a bunch of missiles.
So these just like shoot up and then go to where they need to go.
Yep. So in combat, they'll input a bunch of stuff and then fire. Usually when we fire, no one's allowed up topside. Very smoky, loud. Same with 5-inch.
So they have the 50 cal machine guns right here, or towards the front of the ship. And we have a cruise ship right beside us. Of course, we got the Blue Angels training all around here for the air show starting tomorrow here at Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Another one of our big guns. Also very loud.
So you're meant to look through there.
So I actually don't know how these work. These can be fired on station, obviously, or inside the skin of the ship as well. These are our ribs. We do a lot of boat ops on a destroyer. I actually got to ride one of these last year. A lot of fun. It was a blast. But yeah, they do these for they use these for a lot of different things. Yeah, VBSS, where we do like boardings of other ships and stuff on deployment, and man overboard drills and stuff like that. We use the ribs.
How long would it take to actually get this from its position now into the water?
So if they're hustling, not very long at all. Our deck department is really good at what they do, so they can have these out and down relatively quickly. And this is at VLS. This is where the majority of the missiles are. Obviously, it's bigger than forward. Same thing. And then
You guys have a lot of missiles on here.
oh yeah. And then you have our torpedo tubes on both sides. We have 6. More 50 cals. And then aft seaways. So the same thing forward, we just have one aft as well.
What's the most time you spent on the ship?
So, like at a time?
In one go, yeah.
I think the longest was maybe on deployment. So we went in increments of like a month or so, and then we'd hit another port. But yeah, I don't think this crew, since I've been here, has ever went longer than a month and a half underway.
You guys have it better than the sub guys.
Yeah, yes we do.
They were telling me about how tough it is, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't really do much about it with the
Yeah.
food situation.
Yep.
They have to make all their stuff from scratch.
Yep. And I feel real bad for the the COVID guys, because those would be the ones that asked right there. They went over 200 days without any ports coming off the ship. You know, what I mean, that would have been rough.
That's great.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Thank you to the Navy. Thank you to Fleet Week. This is an annual event that goes on at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, where you can go and tour ships that belong to the military. You can tour USS New York. I'm not sure if they bring the same ships every year, but whichever ships they bring, you can sign up ahead of time and go for free and get a tour of all of these great ships. So signing off now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell button to be notified when I upload a new video on this channel. We just hit 10,000 subscribers with this series. I am so thankful for all of you guys watching, and I promise I'm going to attend Fleet Week next year because of the amazing response you guys have given, and maybe a couple of air shows along the way. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great weekend or week, whichever time of the week you are seeing this video, and I will catch you guys in the next video.